This conversation is powered by Google Illuminate. Check out illuminate.google.com for more. Welcome to today's discussion. We're diving into a recent article detailing the White House's announcement of a 35% tariff on Canadian goods. This is a significant development for Canadian businesses, so let's unpack the implications and explore potential responses. What are your initial thoughts on this news?
The 35% tariff announcement is certainly a cause for concern, but it's crucial to avoid panic. While the immediate impact could be significant for some sectors, history shows that these types of trade disputes often involve negotiation and eventual adjustments. The key is for Canadian businesses to adopt a strategic rather than reactive approach.
The article mentions historical precedent, specifically the U.S.-China trade tensions. How relevant is that comparison, and what lessons can we learn from it?
The U.S.-China trade war provides a valuable case study. Tariffs initially escalated dramatically before eventually being negotiated down. This suggests that the 35% figure might be a starting point for negotiations, not the final outcome. It highlights the importance of patience and engagement in diplomatic efforts.
The Bank of Canada's response is also mentioned. They've opted to keep interest rates unchanged. What's the significance of this decision in the context of the tariff announcement?
The Bank of Canada's decision to maintain interest rates reflects a cautious approach. They're acknowledging the uncertainty created by the tariffs and their potential impact on inflation and economic growth. Maintaining stability in monetary policy provides a degree of predictability for businesses during this period of uncertainty.
The article emphasizes Canada's trade resilience. What specific advantages does Canada possess that might help mitigate the negative effects of these tariffs?
Canada benefits from deep economic integration with the U.S. Many American businesses rely on Canadian suppliers, creating a degree of interdependence. This interdependence can act as a powerful incentive for both sides to find a resolution that minimizes disruption. Canada's diversified economy also provides alternative trade avenues to lessen impact.
The article suggests a three-pronged strategic response for Canadian businesses: assessment and planning, operational flexibility, and information management. Can you elaborate on each of these?
Absolutely. Assessment and planning involve a thorough review of supply chains, customer bases, and revenue streams to identify potential vulnerabilities. Operational flexibility means exploring alternative suppliers, improving efficiency, and potentially diversifying markets. Information management emphasizes staying informed about policy development without making rash decisions based on initial announcements.
What are some specific actions Canadian businesses can take right now to prepare for the potential impact of these tariffs?
Businesses should immediately begin their risk assessments, identifying key suppliers and customers most exposed to the tariffs. They should also start exploring alternative sourcing options and engaging in dialogue with their U.S. counterparts to understand their perspectives and potential strategies for mitigation.
Are there any specific sectors in Canada that are likely to be disproportionately affected by this tariff?
Sectors heavily reliant on exports to the U.S. will likely feel the most immediate impact. This could include industries like agriculture, forestry, and manufacturing. However, the ripple effects could be felt across the economy.
So what role do you think the Canadian government should play in helping businesses navigate this situation?
The Canadian government should provide clear and timely information to businesses, facilitate dialogue with U.S. counterparts, and potentially explore support programs to help businesses adapt to the new trade environment. This could include financial assistance, training programs, and export diversification initiatives.
Beyond the immediate economic impact, what are some of the broader implications of this tariff announcement?
This tariff could strain the already complex relationship between Canada and the U.S. It could also impact investor confidence and potentially lead to retaliatory measures from Canada. The long-term consequences are uncertain and depend heavily on how the situation unfolds.
The article concludes with a message of measured caution. Why is it important for businesses to avoid panic and impulsive reactions?
Panic reactions can lead to poor decision-making. A measured approach allows businesses to assess the situation thoroughly, develop strategic responses, and avoid costly mistakes. Remember, the initial tariff announcement is often a negotiating position, not a final outcome.
What are some of the potential long-term consequences if this tariff remains in place for an extended period?
Prolonged tariffs could lead to significant job losses, reduced economic growth, and increased prices for consumers. It could also damage the long-standing trade relationship between Canada and the U.S., impacting future collaborations and economic partnerships.
Are there any international precedents that suggest how this situation might resolve itself?
Many trade disputes have been resolved through negotiation and compromise. International trade organizations often play a mediating role. The key is for both sides to find a mutually acceptable solution that addresses the underlying concerns while minimizing economic disruption.
This has been a very informative discussion on the implications of the new tariffs. Thank you for your insights.